Hey guys, it's Demo. Welcome back. Today I'm going to teach you how to spawn rush. Now, this guide works for all classes, but let's be real. There's one really cut above the rest class that, if you're a fan of my channel, you already know what I'm going to say. Boys, it's the Druid. Druid's the best spawn rusher in the game, so a lot of this advice is going to be catered to them. But you'll get value no matter what class you play. I promise. Just stick around. Maybe you don't even like spawn rushing, but you're tired of getting spawn rushed. This video will show you what their goals are and how they're approaching the map so that you can learn how to avoid them or potentially deal with them your own way. So let's get started here. This is going to be the first video in a multi-part series. This is going to be on Gob Caves. It's going to be a deep dive. You can see here that I've got all the other maps queued up. Now, this is going to be the only video that is public. If you want to see the other videos for all the other maps because you found value in this video, go ahead and click that join button, join the channel, become a member, and you get access to those other maps right away, and you can see how these maps flow. And then I will also update these videos when new seasons go live and the tiles get shuffled around and there is new maps. But let's get started. We got core concepts here. The first core concept is push to a corner, and not listed, but it should be in parentheses there, is circle inward. Don't just go straight to the middle of the map. If you're looking to do spawn rushing, you will find people in the middle of the map, but the likelihood that you get third party there is way higher. The main reason that we push to a corner is, number one, the game loves spawning people in corners. The developers probably thought of this as a really good way to spread people out, and putting them in the corners means they're the farthest away from other people, right? The other main reason that we push to a corner here is because the likelihood you get third partied is lower. You can see that in a corner module, you are touching a maximum of 2 other modules. In the center, you're touching 4 modules. You also have the ones in the corners that are really easy to navigate to the middle from. So the likelihood that you get third party there is way, way, way higher. So we push to a corner, clear that guy out. That will give you great situational awareness. One of the big benefits of spawn rushing is map security, situational awareness. You can lock down a section of the map, at least temporarily, so that you can do your quests, you can kill PvE, you can kind of relax, and getting that out of the way super fast in the round is a really good way to give you time to reset and just make the entire round safer for yourself. You'll have an easier time going to kill bosses. There's a whole bunch of different benefits to why you would want to do this. Also, you get fucking loot, man. You get to fucking kill people, right? The next thing is generally you're going to spawn 1.5 modules away from somebody. That's not always true. The fastest kill that I ever got was spawning here, going through this window here, panther dashing, going under the wood, pushing up to this guy, and killing this guy. It took me 16 seconds to get to him. It took me 10 seconds to kill him. Fastest kill I've gotten so far. Now, this is basically 1 module away. It's not 1.5 modules away, but think about map design. When Iron Mace designed this map, they thought, okay, there's a door here that needs to be interacted with. There's a piece of wood here that needs to get broken that sends a nice audio cue to this person. Druids don't have that problem. Other classes, you'll give them a heads up. They'll have warning, but Druids don't have that problem. Now, please don't nerf Druids, Mr. Iron Mace. They're weak in a whole bunch of areas, I promise, but this is one of your benefits, is you can circumvent those audio cues and learn how to leverage that to get the jump on somebody, so oftentimes while they're still clearing mobs. The other thing is avoid backtracking when possible and strafe with archers, bolas, and mages. I'm going out of order here, but avoid backtracking when possible. So let's say that I do kill those mobs or kill this guy. If I backtrack into this room here, the mobs are still aggroed. If I jump through a doorway into a room that I already have mobs on, those mobs will be stacked up on the doorway, and melee mobs will instantly hit you and cleave you and kill you. The likelihood that you die backpedaling into a module where you've already been is much, much higher, and that can be harder than you think. If you're zooming around the map and it's like midway through the round, it can be hard to remember, like, where have I been already during this run? So just avoid backtracking, and then if you are navigating past mobs, make sure you're strafing to avoid those archers, bolas, and mages. Those are the things that can knock you out instantly. Same with bugs, but generally the archers, bolas, and mages are the ones you really need to worry about. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about routes, how they work, some primary routes, secondary routes, and then player routes. First, I'm going to talk about the player routes. So if I spawn in the bottom corner, this player is generally going to go north because there's less annoying mobs to deal with, but they might go east. If they go east, they're going to be gummed up for longer. If they go north, it's going to be easier to catch them out in this weird kind of difficult to fight place for them. This person is either going to go south here, or they're going to navigate up and around, and they're going to join this route that this player is going to be on as well, and they're going to navigate south, and then in the middle it's kind of a crapshoot. Middle players can go any direction that they want. This player is generally going to come down here towards Cyclops. This player is generally going to go south. This player is generally going to push out and go south. This player in the bottom corner here is generally going to do centipedes and either come up here or they're going to go this way. And this might seem very surface level, but it's pretty important to know where these players are generally going to be once you connect with them. So let's talk about primary routes and how you can attack these guys quickly. All right, so let's take Mole Tunnel as an example. So let's say I spawned here. First thing I'm going to do is go north. There's an archer or a bola right around the corner here, so you strafe for a second and then you go through the door. I like to go to the high ground here to avoid the bat and the other mob, and then I panther dash to the door and I come through here. The primary route here is going to be strafing to the right and then coming down onto this pathway here. Your secondary routes here, getting my yellow ready. Once you're on this path here, is you're going to look over, check this route here to see if the player has taken either of these routes, and then you can obviously move to intercept. If you see the door open, you know that they're on that route. Or when you come through the door initially, there's a big old hole in the ground right here that you can take. You can drop down. You'll give them more time to react to you if they're paying attention, but you'll see them actively doing the mummy or pushing towards you. If there's no one there, you can either commit to the hallway and then rejoin this route, which I feel is a little bit slower, or you can navigate down through this doorway and then make your way down south. You can check mines, you can move south down into the portals, and just generally keep clearing from there. So that's the top right corner. Top left corner we've talked about a little bit, but this route cannot be reversed. So let's say I do spawn here. You'll follow the same route, but instead you'll come up to the ladder here, go through this doorway, and then you can look. If there's somebody there, you can engage, and then your primary route will continue through here, and you're going to check to see where this guy went, and you can potentially intercept all three of these different spawns right here. And if this guy happened to go east for some reason, most of the time he's going to come south, and then you can kind of work your way along here and catch all of these guys making their way towards the center of the map. So that's the top left part of the map, and then in the bottom left part of the map, I'm going to spawn rush to the corner. If I'm in the corner, I'm going to spawn rush north. So all of these spawns here, these guys, these guys, this guy, and this guy, what you're going to do is you're going to look to get on this route here. So you're going to push down to this doorway here, look through the doorway to the south to see if this spawn went east. Then you're going to come over here. You're going to chicken jump across without using your panther dash and look into the doorway or rat through the doorway here. If you're a druid, you can panther dash all the way down this long hallway and grab that person in the hallway. It's a great place to fight as a bear. Now, for these other routes, you would want to basically join in on that route. And for this guy, for these two, you're going to come down here and join this one, check that spawn, and then join this one. Move to the west here. And instead of going into this room, you'll die if you have the... Well, you won't die for sure, but there's a really high chance you die from the range mob that's in here. What I like to do is I like to push north here. This seems counterintuitive. I'll explain it in a sec, but you come through Spider Nest and then rejoin this route. Now, the reason we don't just go west here is because Spider Nest has a whole bunch of different ramps that fuck up your access to doors. Trying to rat through doors with the ramps is a pain in the ass. And there's a bunch of mobs you just generally don't want to deal with in there. So believe it or not, it is faster to actually take this route here, and you get to check more spawns. Look at, we went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spawns on that route there. So you have a really high chance that you bump into somebody, and the mobs are much easier to deal with on that route. Now, if I spawn on the bottom right, what I'll generally do is I'll follow this route here. I'll go to the centipede. I'll just take my little one way, come up the ladder, and then I'll push up, and I'll just follow this path all the way up here, and I'll look for this route right here. Now, I'm generally going to avoid anywhere that doesn't have red on it right now. So, cave hideout, generally avoid it. Ant's Nest, you can actually navigate through. Let me show you a secondary route. So if you do spawn in the bottom left, what I like to do is I like to push north. I go through pots, strafe to avoid this archer, come through here, strafe to avoid the mage, navigate, and then stay to the left to avoid the other archer, and you can access this doorway here. You can look north, and most of the time you'll see this guy spawn. If the bola guy in the room is dead, you know that this spawn happened, and he went east to go do Cyclops. So that's the corners. That's the general route that I'm going to stay, and then we spiral towards the center of the map. At this point, you can start making your way towards the center, and if you're lucky, what you'll do is you'll find people fighting at that point, and then you can third party them. So this is your Goblin Caves spawn rushing guide. I hope it was useful. I hope there's some good information in here. If you're interested in the other maps, again, click the join button, become a member. You'll have access to those other maps, and thanks.
The sprint. He pops the sprint. He's running up the steps. He's swinging. He's swinging. He's not. He's missing. He's missing. He can't hit the rat. He can't hit the rat. He's bouncing. It's PvEing. He's getting wrecked. He's getting wrecked here. Panther comes in. Right clicks him. He doesn't know what he's doing. He second wins. Oh my gosh. Guy's back in rat form. Can he see him through the water? Who knows? Who knows? He's going to start swinging wildly. Can't get him. Rat's doing poison damage. Getting in his face. He's getting wrecked. He's getting wrecked. He's getting wrecked. The PvE is surrounding him. He doesn't know what to do. He's surrounded by the rat. He's stressing about the rat. Rat turned into a bear at any second. Doesn't know what's going to happen. Doesn't know what's going to happen. He missed the right click again. Bear transform failed. Here we go. Oh, he's getting railed by PvE right now. He's getting railed by PvE. Oh, it's Panther now. It's Panther now. Panther's hitting him hard. Panther's hitting him hard. He goes back into rat form. He turned into a bear. Watch the right click. He gets hit really hard for the right click. He tries to fake it.